Hello, everyone, and welcome to a cross-group Week 2 battle between the SimCity Sableyes and the Littleroot Leafeons. Both these teams are in their third or fourth spot of their group, and top three do advance to the semifinals. This is a very important match for both teams here. I believe the SimCity Sableyes need a win on this one to even be considered for the finals. And Littleroot Leafeons, I think they just need like at least a game win or just, do pretty well. So yeah, very, very important matches for both of these teams. The SimCity Sableyes seems to be all similar Pokemon we've seen before. Low kicks, I think, has only been to like one or two matches, so it's a little bit of a curveball in there. And then the Littleroot Leafeons, I think like Galarian Zapdos kind of gets swapped out here and again, and so does Hydrapple. So two, maybe like one. Hydrapple is definitely the more unique one here coming to this fight. Do see 3 stars again from the SimCity Sableye, so I wonder if pledges are coming back into the equation here, or if they decide they don't want to go for it anymore. I think they've lost most of the pledge battles they've done. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm wondering, like, what they have against Dragonite here. I guess, like, Primarina. Primarina, yeah, is probably their Dragonite answer here, because that's he's a bit of a menace in these things. Urshifu, honestly, not looking too fantastic. I'm just kind of analyzing some of their top picks that they brought here. Chien-Pao looking actually quite good, as long as he can get rid of the... I feel like Primarina is definitely the big threat you have to get rid of here if you are the Littleroot Leafeons, because, it's going to do big damage to Galarian Zapdos, it's going to do good damage to Chien-Pao, good damage to Dragonite, good damage to Hydrapple. Yeah. Actually, it hits the entire team for at least neutral, if not super effective damage. So yeah, that's just like a big one. Wouldn't be surprised if it's brought literally every match. So we do see Urshifu Sableye is the lead. I think this is a pretty common lead that we've seen from SimCity Sableye into Hisuian Arcanine, who notably does not intimidate, and Chien-Pao. Now the Sableye can't really go for any prankster moves on the Chien-Pao here, with it being a dark type. So I think this lead is pretty good for the Littleroot Leafeons. Urshifu does threaten both of these Pokemon here, but nothing a Terra or a good swap won't fix. Just depends kind of what he goes for. I mean, fighting seems like the obvious move, and you do have 2 flying types in the back who could probably take it at least somewhat decently, so wouldn't be surprised if one of them does get swapped in here. And this Sableye could be running like Fake Out into one, close combat into the other. I feel like it's a pretty standard move here for the SimCity Sableye. But yeah, we'll see here. We also don't know if anyone's like scarfed or anything, because if this Urshifu is not scarfed, it could just get doubled into, get KO'd. Yeah, a lot of thinking going on the first turn of the match. We do see a swap into Swampert as Terra Fairy Urshifu comes out fail going into that Swampert slot. And Close Combat coming out, which is going to OHKO the Arcanine. So yeah, I'm unsure if that was Scarf or not. I feel like Urshifu just outspeeds Arcanine Hisui normally, so I could see it going either way. Yep, Dragonite does come out. This does make sense to take the fighting moves, but I don't think Urshifu gets a fairy move, so I think you're good there. But it's still definitely going to hurt. It is Urshifu throwing a stab close combat at you, so it's not going to hurt the Dragonite too much. Swampert could just take a lot here. With this Urshifu threatening Chien-Pao, though, I highly doubt the SimCity Sableye are going to just let it die. So yeah, yep, it is the swap into Primarina. That was the big big problem Pokemon as Will-O-Wisp goes into Dragonite, but now 4 gets an Extreme Speed off Sludge Wave coming out, so predicting the swap into Primarina. So yeah, that was... Oh wait, no, it was a Fairy type anyway. So yeah, that move was good no matter what. The burn on Dragonite is pretty huge though, so you do see it is the Extreme Speed set, which is what I was talking about before, that like really big problem set. But yeah, nothing's really stopping Extreme Speed from coming out now into Primarina. I wonder if you do save it though at this point, because with a Terra, Poison, Swampert, and 2 Pokemon that are faster than it, I'm not exactly sure how much Primarina is doing at this point. Dragonite, you know, even burned, it's going to take the KO with Extreme Speed. It's just going to be annoying to deal with. If it has any special moves, like Dragonite kind of gets both sides of the spectrum, so it could do those. But honestly, this Sludge Wave Swampert is actually pretty scary now. We do see a Protect come out. Extreme Speed does go into that Protect. Foul Play going to Swampert doing a little bit of damage, but actually Rocky Helmet doing almost as much in return as Sludge Wave comes out again, actually hurting your own Dragonite a lot there. So yeah, that Protect stall, just, you know, with the Sludge Wave damage, the burn damage, just kind of slowly chipping away at this Dragonite, probably trying to put it in a range of maybe like a close combat from Urshifu. I could definitely see that. Or like a Wicked Blow, probably not close combat. That would be not very effective. This Swampert, it's still looking like it's going to be a little bit rough to get through. I feel like Low Kicks or Charizard is hopefully in the back here. Like if he brought Superior, this Swampert now hits everything for pretty much effective damage. Foul Play going into Dragonite this time, and Swampert will KO it with its own Sludge Wave. So the Leafeons are down to their Pokemon of Chien-Pao and Swampert, and Charizard does in fact hit the field here. So now Charizard is in danger of, you know, like an ice move from Chien-Pao, which might one-shot. A little uncertain. It can run like Scorching Sands. That'd probably be your best option against Swampert here. Does get Sucker Punch, does live though, as Will-O-Wisp goes into Chien-Pao, but yep, it is a dark type, so not going to matter there. And yeah, Scorching Sands will come out as Muddy Water hits Charizard to take it out. Yeah, Sableye, unfortunately not being able to do much there. We've seen like what, Will-O-Wisp, Fake Out. Have we seen any other? Foul Play. This Swampert might be in Foul Play range now. Yeah, I think it really just depends on how well your Urshifu takes Chien-Pao move plus Sludge Wave from Swampert now. And my guess is it's not very well. So it's a bit of a rough spot here, but, you know, kind of anything could happen here. We still don't know if this Urshifu is choice at this point, because I don't think, actually, let me just double check. Is Arcanine faster? So it's like 156, 163. So yeah, Urshifu could have just been faster than that Arcanine. And it was a Fake Out turn, so we didn't really, a Fake Out and Swap turn, so we didn't really get to see any of the speed tiers there. Could also be like Sash Chien-Pao. It's pretty common, and that would ruin the SimCity Sableyes today. My dog is also biting a towel in my room, so if you hear something, that's her. I just changed my mic settings. Oh, it is Scarf Urshifu. As Foul Play goes out to kill the Swampert. Sableye being faster than Swampert, actually making a lot of difference here. But yeah, that's Scarf Urshifu. I think that's going to win the game now, because not much stopping, because yeah, you can Sucker Punch Urshifu for the kill, but then Sableye with Foul Play will just seal the game here. So yeah, Scarf Urshifu really coming in clutch here. Yep, he's not even going to go for the Sucker Punch, just kind of hoping for a mistake. Doesn't happen. Urshifu does get the KO, which will take us to game 2. So yeah, the SimCity Sableyes did very well at, you know, stalling turns out, making sure they had Pokemon in ranges to get those KOs. Honestly, the poison Swampert with Sludge Wave was really good, but damaging your own Dragonite, I think, may have cost the game there because he was just in range to get foul played by Sableye, who I think eventually got the kill. Or I think the Swampert got the kill, but you know what I mean. So I think this is more of like, how do I manage this Terra Poison Swampert that's clearly causing them some trouble. You know, there's Charizard with Scorching Sands now, so maybe you get rid of that first before you just start Sludge Waving everything. Maybe you put like a Pokemon Protect next to it, so you're not just hitting your own Pokemon when you go for those Sludge Waves. But yeah, a pretty close game overall. It was just kind of like if a little more damage was on Sableye or Urshifu, it would have been a one game for the Littleroot Leafeons. So I think just a couple adjustments, they will be fine here. Having your main Pokemon be quadruple weak to the opposing team's main Pokemon certainly isn't helping here. Now that Sash was a very good call, because obviously you can't protect against Urshifu, so it doesn't really matter there. Well, honestly, Urshifu took less damage from Ice Spinner. What is the base power of Ice Spinner? Oh, well, it is Urshifu low kicks this time, as Chen Pao and Arcanine Hisui are led again, interestingly enough. So we do know that this could be a pretty free close combat into the Arcanine. Now there's always the chance of the Dragonite swap or the Zapdos swap, like I called last time. Although low kicks does put a bit of a wrench in things, because I'm assuming Tinted Lens could be Swarm, who knows, but like Sash Swarm would be kind of funny. Yeah, low kick's putting a bit of a wrench in the plans here, because even resisted moves are going to do full damage, so both Pokemon can actually take quite a bit of damage from low kicks here. Could also just, U-turn out, do other bug move things. We know it's not Scarf, because Urshifu's could still be banded or something like that, though. So yeah, we'll see. Seems like the first turn is a lot of thinking's being done, which, it does make sense. A lot of processing information on the first turn, because it is probably the most important one. No fake out this time, though. We do see an immediate Terra to Fairy as first impression goes into Chen Pao, taking it down to Sash. Is it close combat, though? It is into the now Terra Ghost Arcanine, as Acrobatics Chen Pao comes out and Flare Blitz KOs low kicks. Well, we now know that this Urshifu is in fact choiced, so it's not going to be able to hit the Arcanine. Although, Sableye can now Will-O-Wisp the Arcanine, which will be a massive damage decrease, and, of course, close combat could go into Chen Pao. Acrobatics is an interesting coverage move. I honestly wonder, I guess, the Focus Sash was gone, so what is that double-powered Acrobatics? But I genuinely wonder if it's a nice move for it to do more damage. I think it would have, honestly. Yeah, with Fake Out Pressure active now on that Chen Pao slot, if he wants to just go for that. But also, Fake Out. Oh no, you can't Fake Out Arcanine, it's a Ghost type. You can Will-O-Wisp Arcanine. Just go for a move into Chen Pao, you're faster than it. Gonna swap into Charizard, though, as Swampert does get swapped out here. Flare Blitz going into Charizard. As Foul Play gets the one-hit KO on Arcanine. Clearly very physically trained to immediately die to that. Probably max attack, very little defensive investment, which makes sense with that Rock Head set that seems to be run a lot. And then Dragonite will be shown to be the last Pokemon, so bringing the exact same 4 even on a loss. I'm not sure I honestly agree with that call, but I guess who else really works here? The Terra Fairy Urshifu kind of throws a wrench in a lot of plans here, so yeah, I can see maybe just bring the same ones. Wouldn't be surprised to see another Terra Poison Swampert here with how hard that was to deal with last time. I wonder if this Dragonite is choice banded, though, because it was only using a Shiny Super. It does get burned again, unfortunately, as Dragon Pulse goes into it to break the multi-scale. It is Weakness Policy, as it goes for Thunder Punch. Muddy Water does miss. Very interesting set on the Dragonite. Now canceling out the burn with the Weakness Policy. So just, assuming you're going to get hit with a super effective move, which makes sense. Yeah, that's a good bring here. Because Terra Poison Swampert is now looking like it would clean up this game. With, just like Terra Poison. Sludge Wave again. We do know that this Sableye will probably kill Dragonite now with Foul Play, so that's kind of out of the board. So I think it'll just be down to, can Sableye beat Swampert and Chen Pao? As Swampert does get Encored, as Ice Punch goes into Dragonite, take it down, as doesn't go through Protect. Encoring it into Muddy Water to make sure that Urshifu survives the round. A pretty smart play. Now, unfortunately here, I think Urshifu's definitely in Sucker Punch range, is choiced, so I think this is going to be a game of does Muddy Water miss or not? No Sucker Punch. That's really interesting, as Foul Play does not enough, and yeah, Rocky Helmet just very well come out. Muddy Water does hit. And yeah, with this, I don't think Sableye can win this anymore. I think Swampert will, in fact, close out the game with this Rocky Helmet. Muddy Water lands on Sableye to bring us to Game 3. So Littleroot Leafeons have gotten their win. I'm surprised Superior is not coming out with this Swampert causing so much of an issue, so I'd be very, very surprised if it did not. And that weakness policy Dragonite definitely caught the SimCity Sableye off guard. So they know what to expect now. You don't want to hit with super effective move unless you're sure you can KO it. So I wouldn't be surprised like Superior is brought here, because you need to get rid of this Swampert. Low kick's also not doing a ton. It broke Sash, but Flare Blitz, just kind of immediately KO'd it. And so we know it's not Sash low kicks either. I don't entirely know what else could be having the Sash. Maybe like Superior. Something's got to have the Sash, right? It's such a good item. I wonder if it'll be the same lead, and if so, like a Primarina lead, I think would go really, really well into what the Leafeons have been bringing every game, but you bring the same to the first two games and then swap it up the third. I could definitely see that happening. Just as like a kind of fake out move. Alright, so we do see it is a different lead. Valorian, Zapdos, and Swampert into Superior and Primarina. I wonder if this is a pled position here. But yeah, there's a Superior that I was saying, probably going to be brought, but it could also be the Terra Poison Swampert. We do see the battle timer comes out as it is Zapdos that Terra's, but yeah, Leaf Storm does go into Swampert for the KO as U-turn goes into Superior. Yeah, a very, very good turn for the, oh my goodness, and Moonblast, yeah, after the U-turn into Hydrapple, that might be an immediate game-losing turn there. As you are already down to 2 Pokemon, a double one-hit KO. You have to respect that grass type on the field when you are Swampert. Very surprised that the Galarian Zapdos was the one to Terra there. Now, if there is any 2 Pokemon to close out a game here, it definitely is these two. With the now Terra Water, Superior, and Primarina as the last 2 on the field, they're going to be struggling to pick up the KO on these two specifically. So we'll see here. Ice Spinner does go into Primarina. This Glare paralyzes the Zapdos, who gets full parried. Moonblast brings Shen Pao down to Sash. Yeah, that's this game seems to be kind of slipping out of the Littleroot Leafeons control here. This Acrobatics goes into Primarina, just barely not picking up the KO. Leaf Storm doing about 30%. As Drill Peck finishes off Primarina. So yeah, pretty good not para turn to KO Primarina here. But yeah, Urshifu now coming out. We do know, of course, it's that Choice Scarf. So it's threatening a KO on both Pokemon you can't protect. Yep, it's going to go for the Zapdos. That does make sense. Chen will be the next to move. Going to KO Urshifu. But if Leaf Storm hits, yeah, that'll close out the game here. Which will be a 2-1 victory for the SimCity Sableyes. We'll see if that's enough for them to make the finals.